The most important secret to success for me is perseverance. I'm never giving up.
You have to have good skills in whatever you're trying to be successful in, and you have to have a lot of encouragement.
My high school newspaper teacher, he really helped me get through high school.
You have to be doing everything you need to do, you know, classes, homework, papers, more homework, for yourself. You have to be motivated to do it on your own.
You have to persevere and you have to do. You can't be a passive participant in life.
Success is how you define it. It's deciding where you want to go in life and finding a way to get there. For some of us, including people with disabilities, there may be obstacles to overcome. Everyone has challenges, everyone has choices, everyone can find their own path to success. And almost everyone has some help along the way. Sometimes technology provides that help, playing a role in personal, academic, and professional goals. And sometimes it's people. We can learn from these young men and women who are pursuing their dreams and making a success of their lives. Jessie started ballet in preschool. From the beginning, she loved it.
It's athletic, you're very fit and you can do everything, and yet it's very poetic and smooth, and I don't know, it's got a bit of both in it.
At 16, ballet is still a joy for Jessie. As a small child, it was also a great solace. She could excel physically, even when her academic life was very painful.
My teachers in first and second grade, they're like, oh, she's just slow, just give her time, and the way they tried to teach me didn't work, so it was really I had to create a way to get there.
In fact, Jessie had a learning disability. Her mother saw the warning signals, had Jessie tested independently, and found tutors for her. She was Jessie's greatest support. She knew Jessie could succeed.
Certain times, I'd get down and be like, I'm just stupider than everyone else, but my mom wouldn't let me believe that. She's fantastic, she's always there for me. She won't let me fail. I mean, we have the same goal, my success, but even sometimes when I get down, she's always there, she's like, of course you can do this.
Jessie's mom was coach and cheering section in one. She made Jessie's success a priority, even though she had no idea what it was like to struggle with schoolwork.
We're exact opposites. She's totally and completely verbal, and she's the kind of person who never had to study ever, and my sister's that way too. So it's hard. She had to imagine what it was like for me, and she was the one who started this whole different approaches, about learning, and spelling. I could never write, so we did it orally in the dark, stuff like that.
In the beginning, Cambodia is located in Southeast Asia.
With help from her mom and her tutor, Jessie's been able to create new learning techniques that work for her. She uses a computer with speech recognition software for writing papers, speaking the words into a microphone. She also uses books on tape to help with reading. It's still a struggle, and she still has to work harder than most of her classmates. But Jessie feels that the extra effort will pay off when she goes to college.
I've developed a good work ethic, and I can do it. I can work hard. It'll be harder for me, but at least I'll have the skills and all that. So.
And always, Jessie continues to challenge herself physically. She's been on her high school cross-country team for 2 years.
When I run, I let go of everything, and I just focus on running, and, I kind of clear my head. It's good.
She applies a sports metaphor to her academic life as well. If you have to climb a hill, she says, you get to ski down the other side.
If you work hard at something, you'll get it eventually. So I applied that to academics, and so I've done it in smaller senses, and I know I can do it again. If I climb, I'll get to ski down.
ITS Help, this is Randy.
Randy Hammer has been blind since birth. He's also the kind of person who expects things to turn out well. He works as a computer help desk analyst in a major corporation, a job he started immediately after college.
My personal opinion is that that silver lining that everybody talks about is there. You've just got to know how to get to it. And sometimes it takes some work.
Randy's goals were to earn a bachelor's degree and work in the computer field. To get there, he used a computer with screen reader software and a speech synthesizer, which read aloud the text that appeared on his screen. He had to learn to interface his own adaptive technology with a variety of computer systems, first at school and later at work.
I take the same adaptive equipment with me, and so I learn a few more tricks about it and adapting to the new situation.
Why do you want...
Eventually, Randy plans to complete a master's degree. He has high expectations for himself. He learned that from his parents.
First of all, they mainstreamed me from the beginning. And along with mainstreaming, they pushed me really hard. They expected the same from me as they expected from my sister, who was without disabilities. I did everything that any other student did, and I was basically treated the same by my teachers and, to an extent, my peers.
In his career, Randy is very goal-oriented, but it's not his whole life. Home is important to him too, because of Denise.
Come on. Yay! Good boy.
She's intelligent, she's quick-witted, she laughs at my jokes. She's just a wonderful human being.
Denise and Randy met in high school, often a difficult time socially. With a little less self-confidence, Randy might have let his disability get in the way of asking her out. But that didn't happen.
Everybody's got their, ooh, they're not going to like me because. And a disability is just one of those things that you can kind of use as, I'm not comfortable dating because I'm afraid it's going to be a pity date. But everybody's got those kinds of things. I'm not sure, you know, if everybody's as extreme as a disability, but everybody's got something out there.
Randy and Denise were married soon after college. Once again, Randy credits his parents with planting the seeds of success in his life. They taught him about respect for others.
You want to be equal. You want to have both people happy with the relationship. You want to have both people enjoying each other, enjoying being with each other.
For Randy, part of living a successful life is breaking down stereotypes. He tries to educate people about how to treat someone with a disability.
The idea isn't to draw attention to yourself. It's to handle the situation quietly and allow, you know, the person to maybe get something out of it.
Accepting the challenges of life in a positive spirit, Randy expects the best out of people and out of himself. He plans to make a difference in the world.
I figured that if I kind of break down the walls of thinking of one individual, maybe it won't change the way the world works. But you know what? I can't do anything about that. I can maybe help one person think differently. And if I do, and that person comes upon another disabled person, maybe they'll look at them with different eyes than they would if they had not encountered me.
When Todd Stobelfelt meets someone new, he knows that his disability is probably the first thing they notice. So he likes to address it immediately.
It's a good icebreaker. People want to know. This is obviously attraction. You know, they're interested. They want to know. That's humans. And so I find that it's really easy for me to talk about it. I'll get it out in the open and get it over with, and then we can move on with our conversation. I don't mind, you know.
At Todd's first job interview, he hadn't mentioned his disability over the phone.
This is John.
Hey, John, this is Todd, Cortex.
Todd, my man, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing, bud?
Good.
When he arrived, there were some awkward moments as the interviewer rearranged his office to accommodate Todd's wheelchair. But the interview quickly moved to the important questions.
The second question was, well, how do you use a computer? How can you program? So once I told him about my assistive technology, and the third question was, how much do you want? And once I told him, it was, you're hired. Can you start tomorrow?
Todd chose computer programming because he knew there would be a great demand for his services. He also wanted to make money as quickly as possible so that he could support himself. From the time he was paralyzed at 8 years old, his mother nurtured the idea of independence.
I got home from the hospital and she said, "You're moving out when you're 18. You know, you're going to get a job, you're going to go to school. I'm not going to take care of you the rest of my life." And she's always been a fighter, and that's how she grew up with her mother and her father. And so she installed that in me, and I took off with that. So we're fighters.
Todd needed that fighting instinct. At 3, his father was killed in a motorcycle accident. At 8, Todd's childhood changed even more dramatically. Todd and his cousin found his father's old guns and started playing with them.
One gun we were playing with was a bolt-action .22 rifle. I loaded it and I gave it to my cousin. Basically, he started looking at the gun from his story, flipping the trigger and the safety off and on, and shot me right in the chin.
At first, Todd didn't realize what had happened. When it finally hit home, he needed all the support he could get from family and friends.
We all really pulled in together and became one big support system. And we drew in tight and we became a big family. And so when things started happening as far as, oh my gosh, you know, I can't walk. I'm never going to walk again. I'm never going to be a true man. You know, I'm inadequate. How am I going to provide for my family? You know, those things start coming in, and that's when you start getting a little bit emotional and start going through some serious, some brain things as far as what am I going to do.
His faith and his family helped Todd move on. He left bitterness behind, enjoyed high school, and went on to technical school. Today, technology is vital to his career, helping him perform a job he likes.
Well, one obviously can open the door. So basically, you know, you can set up automatic doors off of switches and things. So they set that up on my wheelchair, and that's how I open a door at home and at the office. And as far as computer working, it's real simple. On-screen keyboard with sort of a stick mouse, sip and puff. You know, 1 puff, single click, 2 puffs, double click. You know, and that's what I use. And then it's just a simple book stand and a mouth wand for magazine turning, paper turning. And that's really it. Good evening, Carol. I'm home.
Hi, Todd.
Todd lives on his own, pays for his own attendance, and enjoys his work. At some point, though, he plans to return to college for a career change. He'd like to work with people in some way. And he wants a schedule that allows for family time.
I definitely want to get married. I want to be a good dad. I definitely see myself in that future. I plan to be sort of an independent type, my own boss, make my own hours, so I can adjust to that schedule. And you also have to adjust to your disability. You know, your disability is in control of you, and you're along for the ride. You can't tell your body what you want it to do, it tells you. And you got to learn to listen to it and take care of it.
With his strong determination, there's no doubt Todd will succeed.
I set high goals. I need to set high goals. I need to set goals that are so far out there that, you know, can anybody reach them? And then so far I've reached every single goal that I've set. And I plan to set every goal and reach them with complete success. And I don't think anything's going to stop me.
All of these young people have a promising future, and what they all have in common is self-determination. They're making their own choices, setting their own goals, and defining their own path to success. They're learning to be independent adults. In your search for success, their suggestions may help you too. Define success for yourself. Set personal, academic, and career goals. Keep your expectations high. Understand your abilities and disabilities. Play to your strengths. Develop strategies to reach your goals. Use technology as an empowering tool. Work hard. Persevere. Be flexible. Develop a support network. Look to family, friends, and teachers.
I feel that it's real important because that's how you learn things, is asking other people and teaching other people about your experiences.
I've always felt like that. My parents have taught me that I can do whatever I want.
You have to always be thinking, be willing to talk to anybody, do anything. Just take everything in that you can. Because experience, I think, is what builds success.
You have to have patience. You have to, that's the main thing, is patience.
It's important just to go ahead and pursue whatever interests you. and you want to try to support other people who are trying to do the same thing.
For more information, contact Do It on the World Wide Web, all in lowercase with no spaces, http://www.washington.edu/DOIT. Phone, voice, or TTY, area code 206-685-DOIT. Address, Do It, University of Washington, Box 354842, Seattle, Washington, 98195-4842. Director, Cheryl Bergstaller, Ph.D. Funding for the creation of this video provided by the Mitsubishi Electric America Foundation, a nonprofit foundation jointly funded by Mitsubishi Electric Corporation of Japan and its American affiliates, with the mission of contributing to a better world for us all by helping young people with disabilities through technology to maximize their potential and participation in society. Copyright 2000, University of Washington. What do you look for when you meet someone new? What do you listen for?
I like people that have the same interests as me. Like, I play video games, I do sports.
If they're outgoing.
I look for my own characteristics in other people. That helps me relate to them.
If a person's open-minded and they're into the same kind of like music.
If they're fun and if they like have a positive attitude.
I'd like to meet someone that has the same maybe attitude or same beliefs.
If you have that chemistry with someone, then it'll go pretty far.
That pretty much sums it up. When we meet a new roommate, the coworker in the next cubicle, or a possible friend, we look for similarities.
If they're talking about like similar interests that I have, then that kind of helps.
We're also watching for positive reactions from people we meet.
They don't necessarily have to be like me, but I look for someone who respects the way I am and doesn't judge me for it.
A little conversation, an exchange of information, a respect for differences. Those are building blocks for good interaction. But what happens when only one part of you is noticed by others? What if people only see something that's different from them, such as a disability?
When they treat me like I'm two.
And especially in restaurants, it made it 90% of the time the waitress treat me like a baby.
Throughout growing up, I've been ridiculed by both staff and students at various schools and stuff.
One thing I don't like that they do sometimes is they look me up and down. You can see their eyes just like going up and down, looking at the wheelchair and me.
Remember back in grade school when some teacher told you that it's what's inside that counts? Feelings, preferences, ethics, intelligence, all the things you can't see are what define us as individuals. Having a disability is part of a person's identity as well, as it's something to deal with every day, and something that may influence recreation, career, and other choices. But that's the key word, part. There's so much more to anyone and everyone than how they speak, hear, see, or move around. Check it out.
I love to play football, and someday I hope to actually get to do cliff jumping, which is basically you jump off the cliff and then you parachute off of it. So it's a lot of fun. I am kind of an adrenaline junkie.
I like roller coasters and I like to go boating and someday I would love to skydive. I really enjoy hearing other points of view, so you know, whether it be political or different hobbies, it's always fun to experience different things.
I like to hang out with people. I like to do fun things with friends and see sports games. I love sports.
I love trying new things. Like, I was one of the first people to actually play tennis on my high school team in a wheelchair. I did basketball, tennis, archery, swimming, track, field.
I'm from an island. My parents told me we were going to visit Orcas Island and we ended up staying there.
I'm the outgoing type. I like going outside. I don't like being cooped up.
I have a great sense of humor. Even if it's like one of the weirdest jokes in the world, you might get a chuckle out of me for it.
I'm a big video game player, for one thing. I like to listen to music. I have a rather extensive collection of CDs, actually. Sometimes I like to play chess, and I'm really into computers, too.
I love to travel. I've gone to almost all of the 50 states. I've gone overseas to like Pakistan and all around Europe. I have a map in my room of pins like where I've been, and like the red ones for where I've been and green ones for where I want to go.
When I was in high school, I was involved in everything. AFB president, National Honor Society as the treasurer, Unity Club as the vice president, DECA as the treasurer.
I love working with animals.
I've been volunteering for the past 2 years at the teen center by my house.
I play about 11 different instruments, and I'm in choir for school.
I like working with the elderly.
I'm going to hopefully go to medical school to be a podiatrist. Last year, I worked with a doctor here locally in Seattle. He invited me to come intern, and he does in-office procedures of toenail removal and things like that. That's a fun one to watch. Most people would find it gross, but I found it very fascinating.
If I had a cure for autism, I would never take it. Autism is me. It is what makes me who I am, and I am embracing it, and I'm never letting it go. So I'm proud to be autistic, and I'm proud that my friends are autistic, and it SB's forever, you know. That's all I have to say, really.
For more information, contact Do It. On the web, www.washington.edu/DOIT. Phone, voice or TTY, area code 206-685-DOIT. Address, Do It, University of Washington, Box 355670, Seattle, Washington, 98195-5670. Director Cheryl Bergstaller. Funding for the creation and distribution of this video was provided by the National Science Foundation, Cooperative Agreement HRD 0227995. Copyright 2007, University of Washington.
Disabilities, opportunities, internetworking, technology. That's Do It.
Do It makes me feel like it really can happen, like nothing can stop now.
At Do It, we're all about success.
Being independent is something that's really important to me.
It's like you actually did it by yourself, yay!
Success in college.
I want to study computer science.
I learned how to do a web page.
Success in careers.
I'm really interested in technology and engineering.
Success in life.
Making friends is really big.
You don't feel alone here, you feel equal, no matter what.
Do It programs are made possible by the National Science Foundation, the U.S. Department of Education, and the State of Washington. We're also supported by generous gifts from corporations and individuals.
You'll learn so much and you'll love it.
To support Do It, call 206-685-DOIT or check out our website at www.washington.edu/DOIT or write to us at Do It, University of Washington, Box 355670, Seattle, Washington 98195-5670. Director Cheryl Bergstaller.